and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Hump Day. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I'm just here to help you guys grow. I love this stuff. I know I say this every week, but I just have a huge drive to helping local businesses like yours really explode. And, I want to do it in a scientific way. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you today about a scientific approach to growing your business. And it all stems from experiences I've had throughout my journey in business, whether it be my own experiences or what I've been able to accomplish for my clients. A scientific approach to growing your business really works because it really is about the numbers. But before we get to that, folks, I want to have an announcement to make here. A couple of announcements. Number one is if you want to be a guest on the show, send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Let us know what the topic is. We will send you an intake form and we will get the ball rolling with that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is actually all the books are gone. So the couple of people asked for the books. And we had one left last week, and that went shortly after we broadcasted the show. So it was kind of interesting how that was. But anywho, just wanted to let you know, thank you for that. And I will keep you posted on whether or not I'm going to order some more. If I get enough inquiries through this method, through the podcast, through emails or what have you, then I would probably order more. If it's not enough, then I'll just keep it on Amazon and you guys can order it there. But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for the ones who ordered it. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. If you have any questions about it, if you want to schedule a call with us, you know how to do it. All the information's in the book. So, the second thing I wanted to say is that next week, you don't want to miss next week. Next week, I'm implementing something new for this season of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, and next week kicks that off. So you don't want to miss next week's call. Next week's episode, because it's going to be something new that I'm going to try this season because I think it's going to be of benefit to all of you. All right. So on to today's content, a scientific approach to growing your business. As I take a sip of water. So anyway, here we go. So in my experiences, folks, there are only two ways to increase profitability. You want to increase sales or you want to cut expenses. That's the only two, and that's my experience. And it's pretty simple. So that they got some strategies that for increasing sales that are huge undertakings, though. So sometimes you have to have a new product line or service offering. Most of my clients, most of my audience, you guys are service-based businesses. So let me stick to the service side. So you may want to start a new service offering, or you want to take on a huge marketing campaign that's going to probably is going to incur more and more costs and time unless you outsource it to a company that actually knows how to do that stuff. But either way, it's going to cost money. Not much time in that case. You should be seeing an increase in your revenue. But I want to talk to you guys about a scientific approach to doing this, because it's all about the numbers. And, I think you guys remember me saying in the past that I grew my business not through networking. I grew my business through advertising online, through Google AdWords specifically. And I want to talk to you guys about tracking conversion rates, a scientific way of making sure that you're getting the ROI. But in this example, I want to go, because I don't think I talk enough on the show about Facebook ads. So let's dive in a little bit about a Facebook ad campaign that's going to and help you track those numbers. So if you're going to embark on a PPC campaign using Facebook as a platform, or you want to have you want to track it based on the traffic that's coming in, what your conversion rates are. And the way you track the conversion rates, this is real simple. It's a number of times your user or your visitor completes a goal action divided by the number of times that your site is visited. That's all that is, and that's going to give you the conversion rate. So that's real simple. I mean, it's no rocket science. So, for example, you could create a specific URL for your customers directly to this page for this campaign that you want to do on Facebook, let's say, and just keep tracking the numbers using Google Analytics how to do that. And it's not rocket science, and it's all given within Facebook itself. You can see the conversion rates itself. So if you want to optimize your conversions, there are a couple of things that you could do to optimize. And this is what I mean by a scientific approach to growing your business. You have to look at the numbers and make decisions based on numbers. As I told you guys many times, I never make any decisions on a marketing campaign without the numbers in front of me. So if I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by this. If you send traffic to a website, and let's say via Facebook, let's continue with that theme, and you have let's say you've sent 100 people to the site, and of the 100 people, 10 of those converted into a lead. You have to look at the demographic of the people and see if that is the actual clientele that you want. And you can make a determination, whether if you want to continue going this way or not, based on the conversations that you have with these folks up front. And that's what's going to help you optimize more and more and more. But and again, these are all lead captures that when people fill out a form, they go to you, or they pick up the phone and call you, and that's how you're going to make that determination. Now, the beauty of doing Facebook ads, like I said, this is a scientific approach, is you can actually probe and say, hey, Facebook, once you have at least a good number of people, let's say about 1,000, you can say, hey, Facebook, I want more of these 1,000. So you can actually segment of the people. So of the people who visited your site in totality, I just want to talk to the people who actually saw the video, let's say, or went to my thank you page, let's say. And then I want to see more of those people and market to them. I'm going to show them different ads. That's called conversion rate optimization, because the rule of thumb with that is if you already have X amount of people interested, and like I said, let's go back to the original example. So I think I'm losing you here. Let's say you had 100 people go to your site, 10 10 of them opted in, or 10 of them converted into a lead, whether it be they phone called you or they filled out the form, either one of those. When that occurs, you can collect that data and just keep collecting that data over time. Now, when that 10 becomes 1,000, let's say, you can now retarget those people, or you could retarget them and to sell them something else, or you could build what's called a lookalike audience and only show ads to people who are similar to those other people. So you can open up the whole campaign to the world. So let's just say, for instance, if you're a coach and you coach women between the ages of 40 and 60, and you're a life coach, and that's your sweet spot, and you just want to run a campaign in your state. So, you have a fairly decent following after that. You can take the success of that and then open it up throughout the world, and just have a virtual coaching program, because that's how it's going to work. So that's what's called conversion rate optimization, is making sure that you're only speaking to the people that that are really, really into buying your stuff or your service. Okay, so I want to turn you guys into a conversion rate optimization scientist. And I want to give you a way to approach this scientifically, because once you have a method, I gave you a couple of ideas of what you can do, but once you have this method and you want to bring that was a technical way of doing it. I want to give you a scientific way of doing it, of how you're going to speak to these people. Okay. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Now, I have never taught this before. This is stuff that I do for my clients, but I've actually never taught it. So you guys are getting insider information from the local business guy himself. Anyway, so here we go. So how to approach this scientifically is this. So take notes here. Number one, you want to ask a question. Your question will be something like, why are people visiting, your website, and not signing up for say a 14-day trial of your service, let's say. So you want to ask those types of questions, but only to the people who went to your site and did nothing. Okay, this is how you're going to optimize this puppy. Okay. Number two, you want to create a hypothesis. So maybe your biggest drop off is on, say, your pricing page. Like, let's say, a lot of you guys probably don't have a price, but so let's say maybe your biggest drop off is in an explanation of your services. Maybe you explaining something. Or, let's go to price. Let's say you do list your prices. Let's say you charge, depending on whatever that section is, let's say you're a dentist and you want to list your price. I've never seen it, but let's just go with that for now. Or a chiropractor, you want to list your price. That's fine too. And you're noticing that people are dropping off there. You want to research the competition and see what your pricing is as well with the industry standard. So you can probably theorize that your copy isn't doing a good job of, say, communicating the benefits for the user, let's say. So based on your review, you could probably realize that the copy is probably, jargon heavy. You don't want to use jargon. I think I had a series on copywriting, and one of the things that I always say is you don't want to use jargon. So it could, if it's jargon heavy, maybe that's why they're dropping off. You don't know. But these are the questions these are the things that you want to dig deep into when you're going to, like I said, become a conversion rate scientist. Number 3, you want to test the hypothesis. So just like a scientist, you're we're only going to test one metric at a time. So in this case, we're going to say rewrite the copy. Let's say from based on the number 2 issue, you want to rewrite the copy. So you want to focus on being very clear and avoiding, technical language. Okay. So that'll be one experiment. And then the next experiment will be something else and something else. And you'll see this thing optimizing. So number 4 is that you want to review the results. So you want to give your change some time to work. And before you review the results, you want to check the analytics to see if the conversion rate actually has improved. And if it has improved, in theory, you're good to go. But if it hasn't, then it's time to come up with a new hypothesis to try an experiment or some of the other stuff that you've listed. But here's what happens when you do this. And it takes time to do this correctly. What happens is each time you do a test, in theory, your conversions start creeping up. So, like I said, the scenario was you ran 100 people to the site, 10 opted in. So let's say you make this small tweak that I said in step 3. You make that small tweak, and then in step 4, you're going to test it and run the results for a little bit while. So now the next time you run the test to a similar audience, let's say, you did a lookalike because you said, okay, 10 is cool. I want more like this. But you make this small tweak. Let's say out of the 100 leads, 100 people again, now you made 12 opt-ins. So you had a slight win. So you want to continue going down the list of experimenting how things are going to change. So if your experiment was a success, then, that's good. But now you want to ask yourself another question and you want to start over. So you want to work your way through the process, like I said. So you want to improve the CRI by focus on small things over and over again. It's just like that until you've noticed that it's not going, it's not improving anymore. It's just like being a scientist. And that's really the formula of being a scientist of increasing your closing rate is number 1, and again, this is, I'm using Facebook as an example, but you can do this with a Google ad. You can do this with a YouTube ad. You can do this with any ads. But number 1 is, you want to start out with a result. So like I said, it's 10 opt-ins out of 100 visitors. Okay, so that's a 10% opt-in rate, conversion rate. But you want to improve that, right? You want to try to improve it. You want to look at your analytics. Well, the first thing you want to do is take those 90 people who did nothing, and you want to retarget them because you want to continue trying to get them and capture it. And when those numbers increase to 1,000 of those, now you want to have a lookalike of those same people and run more ads. Maybe run some questions to them. Why not as direct as why you're visiting my site and not signing up for a 14-day trial or anything like that of my service, but let's say it's something to the effect of, hey, love to talk to you about my, why you didn't opt in or whatever, and send out a questionnaire and read those questionnaires because it's going to help you optimize. Then you want to figure out those drop-off points of your website, whether it's a website, whether it's, 15 minutes into the 15 seconds into the video, whatever it is, you want to analyze, make tweaks based on what you found. And the next time you run traffic to that same campaign, you should see an uptick. Maybe it's now 11, maybe it's 12, small little bite-sized things. And when you make changes, make sure you be a scientist and you make small changes. Small changes make all the difference in the world, guys. I've noticed, I used to try to change as many things at one time because I was lazy. But you don't want to be lazy with this. You want to make sure that every change you make, it's small and it's documented, and you know what audience you're running traffic to all the time. And that's how you increase your revenue from a scientific standpoint using the great world of PPC. All right, so that's all I have for you today. And remember, next week I have a special call aligned, something new that I'm doing for this season. Hope you guys like it. I'm pretty sure you will. If you have any questions about this scientific approach, you know how to reach us, 888-416-7752, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions. So until next week, folks, that's all for now. This has been Frank Deming, the local business guy. Take care, folks, and bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.